Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Hardcore Minecraft with ya boy, Grand Zoo. So, last episode I had finished up the gold farm construction and was working through spawn proofing it, which just takes forever, so I'll be doing that periodically throughout the rest of the series. In this episode, however, I will be building a brand new iron farm, and this thing is super OP, as well as building a new gunpowder farm. To start out, on day 351, I did another round of spawn proofing before I moved on to some other things. On day 352, I started setting up the iron farm, but I was having a little trouble deciding exactly where I would put it. Originally, I wanted to keep it in the center of the base and just make a big patch of water so it wouldn't affect the spawns, but pretty soon I realized this probably wasn't going to work, so I decided to go back to the ocean to put it there. I was in need of some wool for this new iron farm, as well as just villagers in general, so I got to work shearing some sheep and setting up an auto sheep farm. I've never built one of these, and I get the general idea, but I didn't want to follow a tutorial, so I was just winging it. I did fight this Enderman along the way, and for whatever reason he de-aggroed, which I've never seen before. I was pretty confident I was doing this wrong, so I went to the spawn chunk and got the iron farm started in the meantime. Putting this within the range of the spawn chunk meant that this iron farm would run 24/7. I was very much looking forward to that, and I had no idea how OP it was going to end up being. So this design is that very basic one with 5 villagers. I had built it in the first 100 days, but this is 4 of them connected with a very slick little collection system. So I just kept pumping it out. Needed 5 beds and 5 villagers for each. Going back and forth on day 356, I had a lightning strike a lot closer than it ever has before, and I'm not sure what happens with the Totem of Undying, but I did not want to find out. Anybody who's watched this series will know I'm not a redstone master, but this is something even I can understand. It's a dispenser with kind of a mini redstone clock, and it just dispenses items like every second once they start to fill up. I didn't have any pets, and I almost got this cat killed chasing around with cooked cod. I didn't realize that the fish was cooked, and I spent a solid 10 minutes running after that thing, but I'm glad I was able to save it from the magma cubes. I was putting these wood pressure plates down, and I know that the tutorial called for stone, but I didn't think it would matter. Later on, it seems to have an effect, not allowing the dispensers to work properly. The old cartography hall would now be the breeder, so I was trying to figure out how to get that to work to get 4 villagers over to the iron farm. I also tore down the original Gunpowder Farm because it just wasn't working. I built it in such a bad place and it was turning out to be a huge waste of time.
Bruh.
Was having a little trouble with the breeder. They're not supposed to be able to reach that bed. They're supposed to just fall down and end up in the minecart. But it wouldn't be working with villagers if it wasn't a total pain in the ass.
Bruh.
Just when I thought I got it fixed, these guys were ending up on the outside somehow. I hate working with villagers. While waiting for more villagers, I decided to start building the new Gunpowder Farm. I wanted it to be this cool glass base that sunk down into the ocean, which wasn't a great idea, but it ended up not affecting spawn rates, so I was very happy with this build. Every so often I was still spawn proofing, my favorite thing to do, and to pass the time I was listening to some music and accidentally left my microphone set up on.
Takes me to paradise. Do you love me, Mary Jane? Oh, 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 do you think you love me, Mary Jane?
I had reached the milestone of 365 days in this hardcore world, which would be 1 year in Minecraft days, so I decided to take a little tour of the world so far. You had the new mansion with the melon farm and the cartography hall. This is the farm. And this is the original ocean shack and enchantment table. This is the new trading hall, the old cartography hall on the inside. This was my first mob grinder and XP farm. It has 2 layers, one of which is just for creepers. You have the double mega bacons, and that was the conclusion of the tour for now. Now, everything was going pretty well with this farm except for this random villager baby who I believe when they made the baby up in that little chamber, he fell into the water. This sucked. I cut a lot of it, but this was like 10 minutes of me chasing this guy around. And then out of nowhere, he just runs and gets in the farm himself. You gotta love it. Gotta love villagers. I had 2 villagers in each pod. They had food to make more babies, and the last step was building the killing chamber for the iron golems on each of these 4 platforms. To ensure this farm would work all day and all night, I had to get some name tags and lure some zombies up there to scare the villagers. Once they were up there, I just needed to break a hole and put some slabs so that the villagers could see them, and this thing was done and cranking. Next, I decided to move a bunch of villagers over to the new trading hall where I would have the zombie converter in the back. And let me tell you, it went off without a hitch. And by that, I mean it was absolutely terrible and they drove me insane.
No! Wow, dude! I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
No! God, please, no!
Once I finally got that guy in there, I decided to go check on the iron farm. I needed a break and some good news, and this thing was cranking already.
Oh my God!
I really can't even with these guys. Like, yeah, all this is my fault for the most part, but they are always trying to be difficult. My cartographers and Fletchers were already masters, so I decided to move them just over here because I can always get some discounts with them getting converted. I still didn't have any pets, so I got a fishing pole to catch some fish to get some cats, and got another axolotl and put respiration 3 on my helmet. Things continued going just swimmingly with the villagers, absolutely no issues getting the rest of them in here. I was at least getting some decent books, got looting 3 on my Smite 5 sword, and then something wonderful happened. A little cat spawned in here, and I was able to make him my friend. I keep forgetting to actually name him with a name tag, but he shall be known as Earl. I don't know how rare these are, but I've encountered like 5 of these invisible spiders. This was where I discovered that the wood pressure plates were probably causing an issue. I've still yet to change them out, but I think that's the culprit because every so often these will just stop working. Despite that issue, the iron farm still cranks, and the trading hall was coming along. This first side was almost completely full. On day 378, I continued to try and fix the breeder, although you will see it's still, for whatever reason, making the babies spawn outside when they go to use the bed. But at some point, I will figure this out.
Why?
The base of the new Gunpowder Farm was coming along, and I put the magma cubes in. That would be how the creepers and other mobs die. This went a lot better than the first time I did this. That's what I'm saying about the iron farm. Oh my god, is it OP. For the gunpowder farm, I was taking care of the collection system, and as I said, I did build this into the ocean, and I just happened to notice there was an ocean monument right next to spawn.
Oh, this guy has no chill, man.
I did have to take care of that iron golem so it wouldn't affect spawn rates, and he did very nearly make me use a totem. But the iron farm was just cranking out iron blocks, and now anytime I needed a beacon, I didn't have to wait around or get a bunch of emerald blocks. I could just send it. I wanted to put a strength and a regen beacon at both of my AFK farms just because you can AFK longer without worrying, and it just helps kill the mobs a little bit better. I was also getting some wither skulls to get some more beacons. With these last couple librarians, that side of the new trading hall was done, and I could finish the new gunpowder farm. First though, I needed to get a bunch of quartz for some observers. Then I could finally finish this gunpowder farm, and this new design I was using is super cool. You use scaffolding instead of blocks, and they just go out to the exact size you need them to, and any extras will just fall off the edge. So it's very, very easy to build diamond shapes like this. Kept needing some redstone. I honestly had used most of it already that I had in supply. During that, I found an amethyst chunk or a geode. Even though it'd been close to base, this was the first time I actually went inside it because I finally wanted to get a spyglass. Now that I had finished that side of the trading hall and got some decent books, it was time to lure a zombie in there. And this trident dude ended up on land somehow. Unfortunately, he did not drop a trident. Now, before I continued building layers, I wanted to get this redstone clock and make sure everything was working. This will allow the observers to push the water out through the dispensers and see that each time. It seemed to be working, so I started putting a bunch of trap doors down. I really only want creepers or spiders from this. Got the collection system squared away, and the only thing left to do was finish all of these layers. I can't remember exactly how many layers you can put, but I put a solid like 12 of them. Periodically for the scaffolding I needed string, so I was flying over to the desert and killing some spiders. My other mob spawner had some string, but I'd used most of it up at this point, and instead of AFKing, I just wanted to get this done, so I just kept grinding away on these spider guys. Every once in a while I was flying out and checking to see if this was working, and it sure was. Eventually during the day I ran out of scaffolding and did build a layer out of stone, but I would fix that eventually. And I was kind of debating whether or not to just build the roof here. That's why it looks kind of funny and is an extra block long. On day 397, I was really getting up there in layers, and this project had been going for a very long time. So I wrapped up the last couple layers, and other than this one mistake right here with the water, I was ready to finish this thing. Something I also forgot to mention is the scaffolding becomes waterlogged, so the mobs can't pathfind, so no matter what, they will just get pushed off without even fighting the water, which is very cool. The last thing to do was put this roof on, and you'll kind of notice the water kind of bugging out in the background. It does work. This pushes mobs down, and you'll see later on, there's a ton of mobs when I AFK. But this roof was just absolutely massive. It's like 21 by 21 block diamond. It's huge. I was able to finish it on day 400 and then build an AFK platform, and there was an issue with the collection system, I'm not gonna lie, and I do have to address that, but I was so excited to be done with this project. There are so many creepers. So you can see about 20 minutes there was a stack and a bit of gunpowder, but this thing can work a lot better. I just have to fix the minecart system that's collecting everything. And that's it for this episode. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow the rest of the series. A big shout out as always to Flash Mountain Flood for helping me with some of the music. My name is Grand Zoo, and this was day 350 to 400. I'm very excited for the next episode, and I will see you then.